This is the 2025 Range Rover Evoque. I last drove this car about 5 years ago. In fact, it was one of the very first cars I reviewed on this channel, and if you want to cringe along with me and watch one of my early reviews, just click the link up there. Outwardly, the Evoque looks much the same as it did before. Under the skin though, this particular model is a slightly different story. Welcome to it, this week's edition of Four Wheels in a Seat. My name is Alex Dalrymple. Every week I get to drive a brand new car. Yes, it takes a little bit of work, and I know I'm lucky, but I like to tell you what I think about these cars, and I do that every week on this channel. But you don't want to miss an episode, so please do hit the subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and if you enjoy the video, please give me a like. So the last Evoque I drove was a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine. It got along okay, but this particular model is a range-topping P300E, and it comes with a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder hybrid petrol engine, and it really gets along very nicely. But yes, outwardly the two cars do look pretty much the same. Not a lot has changed, and that's fine because it's a really good-looking car. So at the front, we've still got the high mounted sort of design with the driving lights and combination LED headlights looking really good, in line with the grille there and the big Range Rover badge on top. On the side, we get dual tone alloy wheels. These ones are 20 inches. There's a few different designs you can choose from. A panoramic sunroof up on top, and that nice sleek line continues all the way around to the back, where you can see that the rear taillight clusters are in line with the ones in the front. Underneath the powered tailgate is a 470 litre stowage space. You can expand that by about a further 700 or so with the rear seats down. Under the bonnet, the P300E gets a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder petrol engine mated to an electric motor. Together, they output 227 kilowatts of power and a very healthy 540 newton meters of torque, propelling this car to 100 k's per hour in 6.4 seconds. Pretty quick. It's a plug-in hybrid system, so the car can run exclusively on electricity for a range of about 60 kilometers or so. And if you just do an average amount of commuting with this car, you could probably get away with using very little petrol at all. Combined fuel economy with the petrol engine clocks in at 2.1 litres per 100 kilometres on a combined cycle. The car can also charge the battery back to 20% just on its own using the petrol engine. Inside, and the Evoque has had a bit of a refresh since I last drove it, but it is still very plush and a very nice clean design with two-tone Windsor leather and stitching all over the place and some wood paneling here. It's a very nice cabin to sit in. Probably the main difference though is the center console screen. It's now 11 inches, runs brand new software and controls pretty much everything in the car. They've gotten rid of, well, all the physical controls really, and it's all been combined into this one system, which actually works really well. I like the software on this. It looks really nice and refined. Interestingly, it has the latest version of Apple CarPlay, which now features a 3-line design. So there's 3 rows of apps displayed rather than the usual 2, which is a much better look, I think. The native system also has its own native navigation. There's digital radio. There's a lot of customization for the vehicle's performance available. You can access all of the drive modes of this car. So in addition to the regular drive modes of dynamic, comfort and eco and auto, there's also the off-road modes, which are mud ruts, sand, grass, gravel, snow. So you can tweak the ride in this car to get it just right for whatever situation you're encountering. I just leave it in auto, it seems fine. There's also the wade sensing information here, reminding you about how deep you can wade into water. Stay away from swollen roads, of course. And 4x4 information, because this is a 4-wheel drive. I forgot to mention that before when I was talking about the powertrain. So you can, in theory, do some off-roading in this car if you want to get it all muddy and dirty. I think it looks much better when it's clean. Replacing the extra screen that used to be down here for the climate controls is now a cubby with a wireless phone charger underneath it and a USB-C port. The whole lower console here with the gear shifter has been completely stripped out and simplified. It now just has a very minimalist gear shifter, which has quite a nice feel to it. Cup holders, and we've still got a twin lid opening bin here, which which makes a very satisfying noise when it closes. Good storage space underneath that too. Head-up display, nice and clear. The digital instrument cluster has had a bit of a glow up as well. It now features Apple CarPlay maps. Whether you're using Apple CarPlay or not at the time, the car will revert to Apple CarPlay maps on the center of the screen. There's also native maps in here too, but I think the Apple ones are better. I prefer them personally. The steering wheel has this very nice Windsor leather finish in two-tone, and I think it, has a really nice feel to it. Paddle shifters on the steering wheel too. The controls here have been simplified somewhat since the previous Evoque, but they're still probably a little bit on the complicated side. There's a lot of buttons and a lot to control through the steering wheel, maybe just a little bit too much. The steering wheel is also height and reach adjustable, and that is done electrically with a switch over here on the right-hand side of the steering column. The seats are Windsor leather, again, two-tone leather. They are heated, ventilated, have loads of electric adjustment as well as lumbar support, and they are extremely comfortable. The seating position is really good in the cabin. Although this is an SUV, you don't feel like you're riding up overly high, but you do have fantastic visibility all around the glass house. And the rear vision mirror also has a display in it showing you the image from a camera that's connected to a shark's fin aerial on the top of the car. So you're getting a very sharp view of what is behind you. You can switch that off though and make it a regular mirror if you prefer. Panoramic sunroof does keep things nice and light and bright, especially with this dark headliner, which has a really nice soft plush feel to it. So yeah, all up, I really do like the cabin of the Evoque. I could get very used to this. Oh, and there's also a Meridian sound system, which makes an excellent noise. And the good thing is, on the road, performance does not disappoint. It is really nice to drive. It has a great dynamic feel to it, especially when you're giving it a bit of stick into corners. It stays nice and flat, and you always feel very well planted to the road. Being a 4x4, of course, helps with that, but I can't really complain about the driving dynamics of this car at all. It has a really good feel to it. The combination of the electric powertrain with the petrol engine gives you plenty of go. I mean, it really does take off very nicely at the lights. As I said before, the 0 to 100 time is 6.4 seconds. That's pretty quick for an SUV of this size. So yeah, it's not a boring car to drive in the least bit. Is the Range Rover Evoque a turnback car, a car so good looking that you have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? Yeah, I think it is. It's a really good looking car. I find it very pleasing to look at, as I do pretty much all Range Rovers. Yeah, they're not exactly rare on the roads, especially in some of the more well-to-do areas around town. It's a good looking car. Hand in hand, forgive the pun, with the suspension setup goes the steering, which has a really nice feel to it. It's nice and weighty, and you get an adequate amount of feedback from the road, and just going around these corners just feels so good. They do a really good job with this car. Switching between the petrol and electric motors is seamless. There's no jolt, there's really no change of engine noise. You don't really sort of hear it kick in. The only time you really hear from the petrol engine is when you put your foot down quite hard, and then look, it's not the quietest petrol engine I've ever encountered. It's a little coarser than that, but yeah, it's not too obtrusive, but it is there. Features, performance, fit and finish, they're all on par with anything you'd get from BMW or Audi. Although it does miss out on a few features like seat massage, automatic parking. The Evoque is a very relaxing car to drive. It's very easy. It's no hassle. It's sort of like being in a comfortable seat in a airport lounge. You know, you're just kind of relaxed, but you're moving along and it's doing it without any hassle. But the dynamic performance is there when you want it. The view from the reversing cameras and the top-down 360 view is really good. Images are really clear and really sharp. There's multiple camera angles, full 3D view that you can scroll through. It's a good system. The Land Rover website proudly boasts about how this car was built and designed in Britain, and British luxury cars have never been exactly affordable. And the Range Rover Evoque is not exactly cheap, nudging up close to $100,000. But you know, having had this car for a week, I think it's actually somewhat justified. It's good. I really like it.